The National League is calling Boreham Wood's name once again.
Scunthorpe are on the rise again. The iron is gleaming once more.
Hello and welcome, everybody. This is a National League Weekly podcast. I'm your host, Josh Harris, bringing to you another roundup of all the drama, news and excitements across the National Leagues. Today's episode is a little Boxing Day special. I hope everybody had a lovely Christmas. Joining us today is Chippenham Town's young forward, Henry Sady. Henry, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Josh, for having me. Thank you very much.
First and foremost, let's just hear a bit about you, who you are and what you do.
So, I play for Chippenham Town. Been there, joined at the start of the season. So been there for about half a season. I've climbed through the ranks of non-league since the age of 16. I'm now 21. Started first playing when I was 16 years old and literally played. I can't even tell you what standard it is. It's that sort of low down, but I've sort of climbed my way up through teams in the Bristol area and the Southwest area, and yeah, I mean, good performances and goals and assists and man of the match performances have sort of got me from step 7 all the way to where I am now.
Brilliant. And yeah, let's go a bit deeper into that. So let's hear a step-by-step rundown of your career, all the way from youth football up to where you are now. You know, talk about the best memories, most important lessons, just things like that.
Yeah, so I was playing for a team called St Nicholas, who I grew up playing football for them. I was at Forest Green Academy from 14 to 16. I got released from there and just went straight into playing for St Nick's, their men's team. Played there for a few months, ended up playing against Wick reserves. Played really well. I scored a hat trick in that game or something. And the first team, Wick's first team, who are in the Combined Counties League or something, step 7, rang me up and said, we want you to sign on. Obviously went for it, and I was still sort of 16, 17. I played about half a season there. Had some really good sort of highlighted performances. There was one against Bitton, who were step 5 at the time, and we played them in a cup game and we beat them on penalties. I scored in that game, got man of the match. So that was when I first sort of got my name out there, I'd say, in the non-league world. Signed Thrashing and Backwell, who was step 5, and I was still 17 at the time. Played a lot of games for them. It started off a bit slow, but I eventually broke in, and I played the second half of that season. So I was with Wick for the first half of the season. Second half of the season, I was with them. Scored a few goals for them, played really well. Went on to Chippenham Town, who were in the same league, but the coaches there, basically, they were at my college, so they took over at Chippenham Town. So I've known these coaches for years as well. It's Ash Morgan and Marvin Brown. I don't know if you've heard, but Marv, he passed away, recently, which is obviously, that sort of hit me, that one, because he's coached me from probably the age of 7 years old. And he's had a big part in, obviously, my season at Chippenham was, really good. I hit double figures goals and assists. I played over 40 games. I captained the side on a few occasions, and I was still only 18 years old, 19 years old playing for them. So it was, a season which, no doubt in my mind has got me from, got me to where I am now. Yeah. Then signed for Chippenham Town off the back of them reaching the FA Vars semi-final, but things didn't quite work out there. I didn't see eye to eye with the management there. I just didn't play enough, didn't play as much as I wanted to. So Melksham, for a game that I did play, Melksham Town were watching. The gaffer there at the time, Mark Collier, and he wanted to sign me on from there. So went to them literally around end of September time, about 2 seasons ago. And again, it took me a while to sort of break in at Melksham, coming off the bench, wouldn't even feature some games. But second half of the season, in that season, that I started to pick up again, started scoring goals, sort of solidify myself in the team. So had a really good season there. Then back end of last season, stayed at Melksham and had a really good season with them. We got really far in the FA Cup. We finished eighth in the league, but we were sort of pushing playoffs the whole season. Had a good run in the FA Trophy as well. Really good season for myself. I was on 19 goals, double figure assists. Just playing week in week out, enjoying my football, loving my football. I got a message from the first team coach at Chippenham, Joe Sharples. Basically wanted me to go in for a trial, and I had other offers from clubs, sort of in step three to go there. But I thought I loved it at Melksham, so I thought, well, if this trial doesn't work out, I'll stay at Melksham. And went in for 2 weeks, played against Mangotsfield and Bristol Rovers for Chippenham, played really well in them games, and yeah, they wanted to sign me on, which obviously I was absolutely buzzing about because it's always that level's always been a level that I've wanted to be at ever since I was like 17 and sort of grew to understand the levels of non-league football. That was always a level that I aspired to be at. I just didn't realise I'd be there this early in my career. I'm still only 21 years old, so yeah, it's that's basically my journey summed up in about 10 minutes or so.
Brilliant. And you talked about Marvin Brown being a big part in your early career. For him, what was the impact that he had on you, and of course the players around you.
He had a massive impact, I think, because of his career and because of his achievements in his career. His career was quite short, but I mean he's still City's youngest ever player. He's played for England under 21s and he's been at that level where everyone just has that respect for him, and you sort of anything that he tells anyone, you just take it on board. And he's very approachable. He listens to your problems. He knows how to get the best out of you as a player. I think he's a massive part of why I was playing academy football growing up, why I was in and out of academies, why technically I'm such a good player, because he worked with me a lot and really guided me to, improve my dribbling and passing, my weak foot. And yeah, I think even the impact he had with me at Keynsham Town was huge. I mean, we were only playing step five football, but I mean, there'd be games where we'd bot teams off the park. We'd have 80% possession. We'd be running the game. And I think myself, there'd be other players there in that Keynsham team who are, look at Owen Brain, for example. He's a player at Taunton Town, and he's like me. He's progressed from Keynsham massively, and he had players like me and and other lads in that Keynsham team who was playing sort of much higher level than they are at the time. But I think I had so many offers in that season. I had probably 10 plus offers to go elsewhere, but I knew for my career and for my personal development, and a lot of the players knew as well, that we just have to stay the season here and keep working with Marv, because obviously Marv knows his stuff. And yeah, he's an amazing coach. And obviously the news about him passing away was, yeah, that sort of, it hurt me and my family, because he's obviously been such a big part of my career. He's basically been with me the whole way
Yeah.
from literally when I was 7 years old all the way to where I am now.
Yeah, definitely top man. For you, already you say you're only 21, but what has been your personal favorite season so far, and which club was that with?
It's between Keynsham and Melksham, but I gotta say Melksham, because that sort of that was my first proper season where, I mean, we had a good run in the FA Cup. We beat Banbury, step three team, which we took them to a replay and beat them on a Tuesday night in front of around 1,000 fans, which was incredible, really. Like, that was my first sort of time I've beaten teams in cups before, but that was a special moment, because just how much it meant to the club and all the players around me, that was incredible. And just yeah, I mean, second like last season, second half of the season, I was scoring pretty much every game, and I was just loving my football. I was enjoying my football. The club, Melksham as a club, is like I can't say enough good things about it. Like the fans there, the whole feel of the club. You sort of anyone that goes there and anyone that watches games, just there's a real good feel about a football club. I'm sure you know, like if you go to certain clubs and watch games, you know which clubs are
Yeah,
friendly and there's a good environment, and which clubs you're thinking, oh, I need to get out of here.
yeah,
So
definitely, definitely.
yeah, I'd say last season definitely.
How special is the FA Cup, for players and teams in the non-league? A lot of wide media coverage is talking about, the big teams kind of finding the FA Cup as a little bit of a chore and a
Yeah.
bit of an annoyance. But obviously for non-league teams, it's it's the most exciting tournament there is. So for you as a player, what is that like for you?
Yeah, it's incredible. Like there's nothing like it. It's that one sort of competition that can put you in the same bracket as, the elites and the players you watch on TV every weekend. And it's an incredible competition. Like we had Chelmsford in the fourth round, and we were losing the game at half time. We were like, I think 2-0 down or 2-1 down or even 3-1 down. We ended up getting it back to 3-all. We lost literally last sort of 2-3 minutes of the game, which was obviously gutting. We were all gutted about that because that was such a big opportunity
Yeah,
to, there's players in the squad who have gone to the second round, the third round proper, like where Western are now, and they've like the experiences they had along the way, sort of getting to that stage is, like they speak to me about it, and I'm like in awe because I'm just
yeah,
like,
yeah,
wow,
yeah,
that's ridiculous. But yeah, 100% is such a special competition, and it can definitely highlight, the the uh the standard of non-league and the level of non-league, and the amount of ballers in the leagues and the amount of teams that are really sort of, they're yeah excelling and can compete with the pros.
yeah, definitely. And one of those players that you mentioned that had been on like a long FA Cup run, I believe, tell me if I'm wrong, but I believe Sol was a part of the Maidstone
Yeah,
squad that went to the fifth round.
yeah.
I'm sure he doesn't stop talking about that.
Oh yeah, like I share a car school with him because he's a Bristol lad as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we go to training together and everything. And yeah, he bangs on about it a lot. But to be fair, I'd be the same because I
Yeah,
mean they
yeah.
beat Switch, they beat Coventry. I think like oh
Yeah.
no, they lost to Coventry. Sorry, but like the teams they beat along the way and
Mm.
the experiences that they had, like the way he speaks about it, I'm just like, that's incredible. And
Yeah, so,
it's inspiring, really. It makes me wanna, go on a good run in the FA Cup and, play some of the giants.
yeah, yeah, definitely. I think I saw a video of Sol talking about the early rounds of that cup run. I think he scored a hat trick, didn't he? And
Yeah,
he couldn't
yeah.
get the hat trick ball because it went over to some woman's fence. Has he told you that
Yeah.
one?
Yeah, he's told me about that one. Yeah. I
Yeah,
think he eventually got a ball, but it wasn't the same one that
yeah.
that he scored all the goals in. But yeah, obviously if I can do something like I haven't scored a senior hat trick yet. I've
Right.
scored loads of braces, but yeah, like to even get a senior hat trick at the moment would be like, incredible, let alone doing it in a competition like that. Like
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
just yeah,
Oh,
incredible
brilliant.
really.
And obviously, this is your first season at Chippenham. What was it like getting that call from Chippenham and being around these players? A lot of them who have played higher up as well.
Yeah, I mean, getting the text, I was buzzing to be fair in pre-season because I knew I'd have clubs sort of coming in for me off the back of the season I had, but yeah, for Chippenham to, send me the message, I was like, yeah, I've got to go with this, really. And, I'm learning a lot of some of the older lads. We got a really good team, despite where we are in the league. Like all the lads know we play good football and yeah, we're good at what we do. We play out from the back. We sort of keep the ball. We're a possession-based team, and yeah, we play good football, and we are a good team. But we just been struggling to get results recently. But hopefully, the win on Boxing Day sort of helps us turn a corner a bit. And like we know we're in a fight now to get out of the relegation zone, so points are massive at this point. It's as a team, we'd prefer to sort of not play as well, but pick up points at this stage because, yeah, we're in a position where, well, the points are a must, really.
Yeah, yeah. Obviously, it hasn't been, the perfect season for Chippenham so far this season. But you personally, what are the lessons that you've learned from this so far?
I think just the standard of the game. Like, I mean, the tempo's so quick. Like the first couple of games, I remember I was just like, wow. It felt like I had a lot of catching up to do because I was sort of chucked in at the deep end, which I don't mind, but yeah, I sort of quickly learned the level of some of the players, and I mean the way some of the lads can keep going for 90 minutes at the tempo they're going at. I think, wow, like that's ridiculous levels of endurance. And yeah, even just like there's less mistakes, there's more moments of quality. It's just overall the standard is so much higher than what I've been playing previously.
Yeah, definitely. And you mentioned there just before that question about Chippenham's win on Boxing Day over Bath. Let's just talk a little bit more about that. So yeah, massive win, as you said. 3-2 being the final score. Talk us through this one. What was that game like?
I mean, mental. Like, unfortunately, I wasn't involved playing, but watching it from the side, it was a quality game. It's just everything you expected a derby to be.
Yeah,
I mean, there was tackles flying in, there was people running around all over the place, goals, what you like, you name it, basically.
yeah,
It was, yeah, a really good win. They had a striker, Harry Pell, I think his
yeah,
name
yeah,
is.
yeah,
He's played obviously in the league. He was quality, but he came off injured, and they were 1-0 up at the time, and that changed the game massively because they were looking to just spin it long and basically play it into him and let him do the rest. But he came off, and then we were in full control. Then really, we sort of bopped it about well. We took our chances. They obviously scored 90th minute, and we thought, oh, like gonna draw the game. Well, that's what I thought anyway. And then
yeah, yeah.
we had a free kick of our own, bit of a goalmouth scramble, and our striker Chucks put it in the back of the net. So
Brilliant.
yeah, it turned out to be a great win.
Yeah,
Great win.
definitely. And obviously that result is going to mean so much for you guys at the moment because there has been quite a few times this season where you think you've played well enough to get something out of it and it just hasn't gone your way. So, to get moments like that, how much of a boost is that for you guys?
Yeah, incredible. I mean, we've had moments this season where, we've been on the end of conceding a late goal to make a win into a draw or a draw into a loss. And it's gutting really because graft all game to get the result and then you lose at the last minute. But it when that goal went in for Bath, it almost felt like, oh, that's just the story of our season. But we managed to get obviously the win out of it, which was, yeah, it really helped that last goal. That helped push us on a lot, I think, and
Yeah.
hopefully start a bit of a run and yeah, help us get out of the rut that we're in.
Yeah, and definitely you mentioned about, it's a derby match. And for fans, obviously derby matches, they obviously mean so much more. But do you also feel that as a player and maybe does the preparation look any different or does it feel any different?
Yeah, I mean, when we're used to getting 600, 700 to home games, I was 1,700 there. So obviously you're warming up and the build up as a player sort of around the ground, you can feel that it's a big game and it means a lot to the fans. So yeah, there's definitely that element of it, playing in front of a big crowd. And even the pre-game analysis as well. I mean, normally we go through tactics and shape and all that stuff, but the gaffer just said, "Listen, it's a derby game. You gotta want it more when your tackles, when your duels, when your headers and you'll win the game. And I think we did that, and yeah, we obviously got the result.
Yeah, good stuff. Let's move on now to something that you've been working on outside of football, still obviously related to football. So tell us about your new platform.
So pitch scout. So me and my mate back in went. So I went to Hartpury University as well. Finished last in May, graduated in May, and me and my mate Matt, who plays for Cribs, we basically wanted to come up with a platform that helped players. It was originally we were thinking about doing it with agents and linking agents to players, but we came up with the idea of managers and players and coaches being able to message each other directly. So the platform operates a bit like LinkedIn, but just all about non-league football. So there's a community feed where players can post, results of the weekend, their availability if they want to, if they're a free agent looking for a new club. Managers can post, availability for players if they got if they want a left back, or they can even directly message them. Uh, so yeah, that's basically what our site's about. We got a news section, just keeps you up to date with all the brand new news in non-league and stories and all sorts, how the app works. We've got 900 users now, just over 900
Oh,
users on the app.
brilliant.
So, and it's been going for about 2.5 months. So we're happy at where it's at, to be honest. It's
Yeah,
since we came up with the idea probably around this time last year, it took a while to get it developed and get our idea in the hands of the right developer to make it happen. But yeah, we've worked hard to get it launched and everything, and even sort of making content around it now. It's tricky coming up with new ideas and new things to advertise it and yeah, like push it. But yeah, we're doing well, and we're glad because we've already helped a lot of players with moves, or scouts have been messaging players. We've had players message us about showcase games they've been invited to from championship clubs and premiership clubs. So it's good that we're not just getting that recognition in non-league, we're also getting it in the pro game
yeah,
to an
yeah.
extent.
Oh yeah, brilliant. How did that idea come about with you and your mate?
Yeah, so we were literally sat in uni, and he actually asked me, he was like, "Oh, why don't you have an agent?" And I was like, "To be honest, mate, like there's there's a bit of a stigma with agents and non-league football. I think a lot of managers, especially like where I was playing last season for Melksham in the Southern League, I think if you went to a manager and said, "Oh, let me talk to my agent," they'd be a bit like, "Mate, like what you on about?"
Yeah, yeah.
They'd think it's a bit big time and a bit, yeah.
I know
So
what you mean, yeah.
we basically, I was like, yeah, like came to the end of that idea, but then we sort of both slept on it. Then the next day, we sort of both came up with the idea of, oh, why don't we just have a platform where players can directly message managers?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we obviously came up with that idea. We've had little tweaks and changes of how we wanted to do things, and we've spoken to people who have invested into it and the web developers, and they've given little ideas, and it's basically, yeah, everything that's happened from there has made the product that we
Yeah,
got
yeah.
today.
Well, my next question was going to be sort of like, how did you create it? How did you get it launched?
So we wanted so we basically got it through a web developer. So Matt's originally from America.
Okay, yeah.
So well, he was born in the UK, but his parents moved to America when he was literally like 1 years
Yeah,
old.
I've heard his accent actually. It's quite
Yeah,
mixed, isn't it?
yeah. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird accent. It's not like fully American, but
No.
like I've been over to America with him, and his accent does change, to be fair,
Yeah,
when
yeah,
he
yeah.
when he gets over there, it goes a lot more
Yeah,
American.
I
And
bet.
all his mates know that as well. All his
Yeah.
mates take the mick out of him a little bit. But yeah, so his dad knew someone who does like web development and app development. So we got in contact with them. We were thinking about going through Upwork, but we wanted to sort of try and get it, like, go with someone we knew and something that we trusted a bit more, because I mean, we were two uni students at the end of the day. We didn't have tens of thousands of pounds to put behind it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, and luckily for us, the people who developed the web app, they've actually invested a bit of money as well, because
Oh,
they
brilliant.
think the idea is too good to sort of let it pass them by. They
Yeah,
wanted
yeah,
to
yeah.
put a bit of money in as well. So they gave us a discount for the website development, and yeah, they invested a bit of money as well. So yeah, and we got that developed. It started back in May, got it developed. It took a bit of a while because we wanted like tweaks here and there, but
Yeah.
had it finished by like the start of September. And then we were just, from that point, took us like 2, 3 weeks just to get everything ready. So like we knew when it launched, it would get a lot of attention and yeah, a lot of eyes on it.
Yeah, and what is the marketing strategy for you? Because I've seen you on a number of different platforms. You know, you've been making sort of content to promote this. Is this something you spoke about, or is this something that's just come naturally and something you've been doing?
Yeah, yeah, we've spoke about it a lot. We obviously had a lot of time whilst the app was getting developed to sort of figure out what we'd do for marketing, like what sort of videos we'd make. And yeah, we've got a lot of ideas. We've used a lot of them, to be fair. So we're still, we're trying to do different things here and there. We're trying to just basically whatever comes to our heads as well. We try it out because we're not losing out on anything by trying it out. Like my video about my story, I mean, that wasn't original. It was sort of in the plan, but I thought, right, just give it a go, see if it works, and that went pretty viral, to be fair, that video, and
Yeah, yeah,
that got a lot of eyes on Pitch Scout basically, because I managed to promote it through the platform. I mean, that video's probably, yeah, it's done the best numbers for us, but yeah, it's about, just making different types of content and yeah, seeing what works and what doesn't.
absolutely. And for those who are wondering, where can they find Pitch Scout?
So if you just type on Google pitchscout.co.uk, it'll take you to our app. Making an account literally takes 2 minutes. So you've obviously, if you go on our website as a first-time user, you've got the introduction page and everything. But to access, the best features of the app, messaging players, messaging managers, looking on our community feed, then you have to make an account. But yeah, I think anyone involved in non-league is it's definitely the way forward. I think if we can grow it to a point where it's being used as much as Twitter for non-league football, I think it'd be yeah, a massive platform for non-league
Yeah,
moving
definitely.
forwards.
Is this like strictly for players and coaches, or can are fans? Is there a little bit where fans can get involved?
There's nothing on fans yet. We were thinking about doing that, but we wanted to just keep it exclusive for now to players and managers, because we didn't want to, at this moment in time, we didn't want it to sort of go into anything else without us properly sort of looking into it. We think it's a great idea, and it's definitely something we've discussed a number of times and something we want to implement in the future. But I think for the current stage we're at now, we want to keep it as basic as we possibly can for players and managers, and just make it so it serves its purpose of helping players and managers.
Yeah, definitely. Is there any other sort of future plans for Pitch Scout?
We got a few, yeah, we got a few. I don't know what I can discuss and what I can't
Yeah,
discuss, but yeah, we've got a lot of big plans for it. We've
brilliant.
spoke about taking it into different sports, even like the women's football. So there's a lot of plans for it moving forward. But yeah, we can't speak about all of them. But yeah, it's definitely something that's going to be growing, and something that is turning out to be one of the most exciting platforms in non-league football.
Brilliant. Sounds great. Right, let's move on now. Let's do like a little Boxing Day roundup. Because obviously This is the first episode since Christmas. So yeah, let's stay in the south for the meantime. Here are some
Mhm.
notable Boxing Day fixtures around the league. Firstly, a huge win for Torquay over Western-super-Mare. They fired themselves into fourth place, just 4 points off the top. It's quite a tough,
Yeah.
tough little group of teams up there at the top at the moment. There's a goal from Matt J and a brace from Louis Dennis. That snapped Torquay's two-game losing streak. Yeah, how big is this win for Torquay, Henry? Obviously, with all those teams up there really fighting for some places.
Yeah, massive. I mean, Torquay's ground is ridiculous. Like yeah, it's on par with Football League grounds, and I think you go there as an away team and you can really feel the atmosphere that they create there. I mean, their home record is ridiculous, and yeah, I mean, it's a massive win for Torquay. Obviously, puts a bit of dents into Western-super-Mare, but they're two quality teams who deserve to be where they are because the football they play and the results they grind out and the players they have is granted as to where they are in the league.
Yeah, definitely. I think for me personally, on a personal level, I've actually missed. I joined the football club last season, so I've had
Yeah,
two chances to go and visit Torquay, and it's both been on Boxing Day, and I haven't managed to.
yeah,
I haven't managed to. Oh no, I don't think it was on Boxing Day last year, but I couldn't go regardless. So I've
yeah.
missed out on both the opportunities to go there
Nightmare.
as a sort of staff official. So I'm gutted about that, but yeah, no, obviously for Torquay that is huge. You know, the teams up there, Hornchurch, Worthing, Dorking. I mean, all of them. You could make a case for all of them. You know, and I think that just
Yeah,
really speaks of the level that the
yeah,
South is at. Because if you think about the gap between the South and National League, and even the North and National League, it's
yeah,
not as big as it once was.
yeah.
So, I think that's really interesting. And being a player in the South, obviously tier six,
Mm.
for you what is it like being around these types of players that really could some of them could be playing a lot higher up?
Yeah, I mean, when you play against them, that's when you sort of really learn. I think there's been players that have come up against this season where I just think, oh my God, like some of their ability and the way they can just like change the game and just turn it on out of nowhere. It's just like it's incredible. And there's so many players who, you look at and you think, yeah, you could be playing as high as you want to play
Yeah,
because
yeah,
there's just so many, you know, whether they're old, young, experienced lads, there's players dropping down, there's players climbing the leagues. But yeah, I mean, the standard is just ridiculous, really. There's so many lads who, can be playing leagues above the National League South and the National League North.
yeah. Well, it is a great division. It's great to watch. It's just every single week it's just cinema, So
Yeah,
and obviously me and you we know a lot more about the South, but I've heard
yeah,
that the North. I try and keep up with the North, but I'm not as obviously as into it as the South. I've heard the North is
yeah,
almost just as good. You got South Shields and Fylde, who were just two
yeah,
powerhouses up there. So yeah, I just think that the level has grown so much, and I do think
yeah,
it's incredible.
definitely.
It was a 96th minute winner from Josh Reese to keep the Essex natives at the top of the table with Worthing breathing down their necks. Were you expecting Hornchurch to be so good this season, Henry?
No, they're not one of the teams that we thought would be up there. We played them sort of back end of August. They beat us 3-0. And yeah, we since then they've just gone on a ridiculous run, really. They're a sleeping giant
Yeah.
in the no, not sleeping giant, sorry. How do I say it?
Dark
Like
horse, like
yeah, dark horse, yeah.
I knew what you meant. I knew what you meant.
Yeah. 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 So
Yeah,
I mean they're silently going about their business, picking up results. They've got some really good players. But yeah, I definitely didn't expect them to be where they are now, but credit to them. I mean, they've done picked up results that, justify where they are in the league.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think for Hornchurch, they did have a good summer, and I think they did get some good investment, but it just was really clicked for them th this season. So yeah, I mean, fair play to them. they beat us on the first game of the season. That was quite a topsy-turvy game. I think we went 2-0 down and got it back to 2-2, and then I think we conceded in the last minute, which was
Yeah,
I think that was quite a backbreaker. But yeah, no, Hornchurch, fair play to them, and obviously Worthing, who have picked up some really good form recently.
yeah,
Their squad is so good, isn't it? They are one of the teams that you'd probably expect to be up there.
yeah, definitely. I mean, we beat them in August, which I mean that game was scrappy and it was a horrible game for the neutral, horrible
Yeah,
game
yeah,
to
yeah.
watch. But yeah, I mean their squad is ridiculous. Like they've got players who, like what we were saying earlier about players playing in leagues above. They've got players who you look at and you just think, yeah, like what are you doing here? Like
Yeah, yeah.
because they are football league standard
Yeah,
players.
definitely. A lot of them. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so for the North, right. So let's look up the North, where South Shields and Fylde, they've continued their dominance with Boxing Day victories over Spennymoor and Chorley. For Shields, it was a 6-0 win over Spennymoor. This game included a first half hat trick for Sedwin Scott. He's had a fantastic season so far. I've heard lots about him.
Mm.
Fylde, on the other hand, they had to work a little bit harder for their 3 points. But it was just the one goal that was enough to send them. No, sorry, to keep the pressure on South Shields. Obviously, I think South Shields have been top pretty much all season, but Fylde have always been within 1 or 2 points. I've had someone come on from Fylde earlier on in the season,
Yeah,
and they were talking about how those two teams are just miles above everybody else. I don't know
yeah.
if you know too much about the North.
No, to be honest, I don't know too much, but I know obviously them two teams are flying at the moment,
Yeah,
and I keep up with Merthyr Town quite a bit
yeah,
because they were
Murphy.
obviously I know a few players who play for them, and they were obviously in the league below the season before. But I mean, apparently last season they were just miles above everyone else.
Yeah,
They were just clear for the whole season, and yeah, I mean they've got players playing for them who are ridiculously good, and they're really sort of, I think, surprising the league. I don't think anyone realised that they'd be where they are at this stage,
yeah,
but
yeah.
they're doing really well as well.
Especially when you think of all the traveling they have to do as well, because
Yeah.
they're in the north, but they're not particularly northern. They're obviously they're one of the teams that were kind of slightly hard done by with the way the
Yeah.
north and south were divided. I mean, they've done so well. I think they're third place now in
Yeah.
in the league. I mean, that is just mental. That is mental.
Yeah.
And I've heard great things. Obviously, Morgan Lewis. I don't know
Yeah.
if you know Morgan Lewis. He used to play
Yeah.
for Western. I got on with him really well. He's just smashing it over there. They all
Yeah.
are. So yeah, that is brilliant. And obviously, yeah, good luck to them. But on the other end of the spectrum in the north, Leamington. I don't know if you've heard a lot about them recently. Their dark days really do continue. They've now not won a league game since the very start of September. Yikes. Yeah.
Gee.
I
Yeah.
think obviously, that is I don't want to call it a freak incident or thing to happen, but that isn't kind of normal.
No.
I'm sure you've been in the changing room before where there's been a fairly bad skid of results. Where do you go from there as a player? Who do you look up to?
I think it's obviously like it's different for each player and each team, and depends how the management handle it. But I think the most important thing is just sticking together. I think that's when you look at your senior players and
Yeah,
if the management and you look at them to sort of give you a bit of inspiration and a bit of hope, and you got to look at yourselves like first and foremost and think if you're doing enough for the team and if you're contributing what you need to. But I think, yeah, you look to the senior lads, the lads who have been there and done that numerous occasions, and you look to them and sort of you want to, be inspired by them or just get something out of them to help you as a group of players get together and turn it around.
yeah, definitely. Well, yeah, that obviously can't be a nice. period for
Mm.
anybody involved there. So hopefully they can get a few. It is looking like if you look at the sort of table, it's looking like they probably will go down. But
Mm.
you pick up some form, you get a few wins, everybody starts to feel a bit better about themselves, and you can go into to hopefully go into next season feeling better and yeah, more together. But yeah, good
Yeah.
luck to them. Over in the National League, it was quite a hurtful loss for Forest Green actually, away at Brackley Town. Michael
Mm.
Nottingham was the hero for Brackley. His first half strike was enough for Town. Interestingly, Brackley had actually lost their last six league games heading into that, so it's not really a great result for Forest
Yeah.
Green by any stretch. This leaves Forest Green in fourth. They are only 3 points behind the leaders Rochdale, but they've played three more games than
Mm.
Rochdale. Who knows that gap? Obviously no game's an easy game at this level, but who knows that gap could extend to 12 points pretty quickly, and then you're starting to
Mm.
scratch your head thinking, oh, what where do we go from here now? What are your kind of thoughts on that?
I mean, yeah, Rochdale are running away with it, but I think the games in hand can be a bit. It can sort of give you a bit of false hope. I think me personally, I'd much prefer the points on the board than the games in hand because, the points on the board, that's concrete. Teams can't take that away from you. And, games in hand, it can be a bit dangerous. But yeah, I mean, again, that's a competitive league and there's teams in that league which, they got massive budgets and big fan bases, and they're big clubs at the end of the day, and they've got big ambitions to be back in the football league. And yeah, I mean, Rochdale, massive club, Forest Green, massive club. I was at Forest Green Academy when they were in League One,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
to see them back in the National League now, it's surprising, and
Mm,
it's like it sort of still plays on my mind a bit that they're only one league above.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's a competitive league and there's Forest Green, Rochdale, other teams up there who are competing. But Rochdale look in the best position now,
Yeah,
but
they do.
the
Yeah, yeah.
game stand can be dangerous.
They've only conceded Rochdale. I've just seen this. They've only conceded 14 goals all season. That is quite impressive.
That's
That's a
ridiculous.
joke, isn't it? That is,
That is
that is,
ridiculous.
yeah, that is insane. And you've got the teams up there, especially in a league like that, which anybody's a threat, really. You got
Mm,
Rochdale, you got Bournemouth, York, Forest Green, Carlisle, Scunthorpe, and even Southend. Actually, you could make a case for.
yeah,
God, that's a tough league, and I think obviously we'll talk more about we'll talk more about it in a minute, but the whole 3 Up campaign, I think, you look at stuff like this and think, how can only two teams go up out of these,
yeah,
because there's six there's 6 or 7 of them that you really could be in the
yeah,
EFL. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, no, but I just looking at the stats like York, I don't know if you saw Stuart Maynard's comments a couple of weeks ago. I think their gaffer York, he reckons that they're going to be a championship club in years to come. He just said it on a podcast. He just said, "Oh, we got the structure, we got the money to be in the
mm,
championship." And I think he did get some backlash from that.
yeah,
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, good luck to them, really. But yeah,
yeah,
that's a tough one. But yeah,
yeah,
I mean, yeah, it is such a competitive league and stuff like that. The gap, the gap between the EFL and the National League again isn't very big anymore. It used to be a lot
mm,
bigger. Teams used to fall off a cliff, obviously, after getting relegated to the National League. It does happen sometimes. Obviously, Morecambe haven't had a great time, but that these teams can compete in League Two, and I did actually just want to bring in just like a slight new little angle on the 3 Up campaign. It's been such a huge talking point this season.
yeah,
Obviously, me and you were both West Country boys. I thought it'd be interesting to use Bristol Rovers as an example here, right? So they are sitting in 22nd place, third from bottom in League Two. As it stands, they would stay in League Two uh,
yeah,
after coming 22nd place. I mean, they've picked up 1 point in their last 12 league games. They've lost the rest of them. how can you justify keeping a team like that in the EFL? Obviously, it's still we're only halfway through the season, but could you imagine if Rovers get away with it because only two teams go
Oh,
down?
you just got to send them down, I
You've
think.
got to, you've
The
got
thing is, you have this converse with my mates, and they'd be like, What you on about?" But
yeah,
yeah, obviously, yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous that only two teams go down and two teams get promoted. Like it's you look at our leagues and all the leagues below, it's only two teams up, and it's so hard to get out of the league that you're in without getting relegated. Getting
yeah,
promoted, you've got to be, no wonder Torquay have spent the last few seasons in our league because it's so tight. Like last season, I remember there was I wouldn't obviously playing in the league, but won it between like first and seventh place. There was something like 3 points.
yeah. So it's just
But
ridiculous.
like I remember I'd always look at it and there'd always be a different team at the top of the league every
Yeah,
week.
yeah,
I'd be
yeah.
like, what on earth? And like Truro nicked it like last day of the
Yeah, they
season.
did.
Eh?
I didn't expect them to do that at all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you look at Dorky, Torquay, and Worthing. Really, you look at those boys to have done it, and they all three of them they stayed down. So yeah, like you said, it
yeah,
just shows the level of all the teams.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean, the fact going back to Rovers, the fact only two teams get relegated from that league is madness, really. It's yeah, don't even know because don't four teams go up in League Two or something?
Yeah,
I think it's four teams, and yeah, the fact that only two can go down, it's yeah,
to make
like
that.
to have the season that Rovers have had and still like so far and still be out of the relegation zone is yeah,
That's madness, isn't it? That just
yeah,
you got to think. You got to be like, imagine being those two teams below Rover. I think it's Newport and Harrogate. I think it is.
yeah,
Imagine you're those two teams,
yeah,
and you look at Rovers' results, and you go, "Oh, these guys are still above us."
yeah.
That's got to be a horrible season
Oh yeah,
for those guys. But I mean, it gives Rovers all three of those teams. It gives them such a boost thinking, well, we might get away with it here. We might end up, getting out of it by the skin of our teeth. I think, yeah, obviously, as a player, do you guys talk about that? Is that things that the players mention or have strong feelings on?
I guess we talk about results in and around us all the time, and yeah, we haven't mentioned this campaign too much amongst us, but like everyone knows Rovers are on a terrible run at the moment, and yeah, the fact they're still out of it, like there's a one or two former Bristol Rovers players on our team, and they say like how they're still out of it is just like just yeah, for absolutely insane.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. But yeah, obviously we hope there's some movement with that, but that seems like a long process. Obviously, I don't know the legalities and things like that. But yeah,
Yeah,
I just thought that was a new little angle to bring Bristol Rovers into that. Obviously, for two Bristolians, obviously to talk
yeah,
about. I think you told me before that you're on the red side of the
yeah,
divide.
yeah. City fan, just well, my dad and granddad, and my whole family's grown up supporting Bristol City. So yeah, I mean, I've been there when they beat Man United and
Yeah,
the
yeah,
FA
yeah.
and the Carabao Cup. I went to Man City away, Man City at home. Yeah, we've had some good games that I've been to, and yeah, I mean, I used to have a season ticket there until sort of my Saturday football and my senior football got a bit more serious,
Yeah.
and yeah, but I used to go a lot as a kid and grew up watching them really.
Yeah, definitely. Looking ahead to tomorrow for Chippenham, I think it's away at Tottenham, is that right?
Yes.
How are you guys kind of feeling heading into that one? Because Tottenham, they had quite a good start to the
Mm.
season, didn't they? But recently they have not been picking up some great results. I think they've lost all but one of their last seven games. I think one. Yeah, they've won one in seven.
Yeah,
Yeah, how are you guys feeling sort of heading into that one? Are you apart? Are you going?
yeah. Yeah, I'm in the squad, I think. So, yeah, I mean, we're in this league, it's almost about the timing of when you play teams is massive. If you
Yeah,
play teams who are on a roll, you're going into it thinking, oh, but if you play teams who are in a bit of a bad run of form, you think, oh, it's a good opportunity to
yeah,
sort of because anyone can beat anyone in our league. But so that's why it's so important as to when you play them and when you're hitting them, really. But I mean, we're all confident. The lads are all confident going into that game. We got obviously we know they're a good team, but off the back of a win, I think we're feeling good. And yeah, it'll be a long journey, obviously going down there on a night game. But yeah, looking forward to it.
absolutely. Well, I reckon that'll do us. But Henry, thank you so much for coming on. It's been a really good episode.
Top man, Josh. Thank you very much for
Awesome.
having me.